Let's begin. So today's session, this is day 2. Day 1 was about the game-changing element, where I expressed about the concept of utilizing internet to connecting to mentors and how it has become very prevalent and proficient post-COVID, because so many experts, uh, actually all the experts has to come online. Previous to that, most of the experts were not online, they were already busy offline. The second thing which I am talking about today, second thing in context of the whole thing, but the day 2 thing is the biggest change that is happening in the workplace. So it could be with regards to, you may not be aware about it, you may be partially aware about it, but I want to bring the whole picture in terms of statistics, in terms of research, in terms of reality and practicality. So that biggest thing, before that biggest thing, I want to share something which has recently been expressed by Microsoft. I hope this is visible. The Great Resignation. Are you ready to join the movement? So Microsoft Work Index 2021, you can look towards the bottom. There is the line written there. Figures shown are from the 2021 Microsoft Work Index. 39% want to be their authentic selves at work. So many of the people who are working, initially they take career in terms of what is their understanding of their potential. So the line they choose accordingly, and where there is good income, good earning, which is definitely an important consideration. But as people start working and as we start growing, there is deeper needs of feeling fulfilled through the work, feeling that I am connected with something which is connected with my nature, with my interests, with my personality. I have motivation towards this work, like what I am doing right now. I actually graduated as a software engineer, but as soon as I completed my software engineering and I started working, after 6 months, I realized that this is not something which I want to do, the programming thing, even though like there was a good path. And that's when many of the people told me also, and I also realized that, Vipul, why you don't get in teaching or coaching, guidance, counseling, all these things, because that's when I realized that this was something which is very connected to my nature since childhood. So authentic self means connecting with oneself in a deeper way, where one is feeling satisfaction, a contribution, the work one is doing, one is feeling one is contributing something. Once the money part is taken care of, all these things become very important. 40% of the global workforce is ready to quit. 73% of the workers want remote work to continue. Suddenly we are seeing many of the companies, and initially they told that we will try to keep the remote work thing working and gradually work in the direction of increasing it, but now they are calling so many of their employees back to college, back to offices. So this is a fluctuating period, or a period of flux. Things will definitely be moving forward in the direction of continuing the remote work. And 54% are tired of feeling burnt out. So nothing new about it. This is because the corporates are not formed on the holistic thought process of an ecosystem where a person is valued, the individuals get the work which they are find themselves aligned with, and at the same time the corporation is in profit. If you will go towards the backside of history, somewhere around 1970, 1980, it was established that the main purpose of a corporation is to ultimately make profits for the investors. So I don't want to go inside in great detail, although this is great detail. Like if I share with you the latest thing which is happening on the internet, then yeah, it can be read here. Yeah, you can read here. News 18, The Atlantic, the Great Resignation is on. Here's all who are quitting their work. The Great Resignation is accelerating. The Great Resignation, why millions of workers are quitting. CNBC also has 1 month ago a 12-minute video about it. Yahoo Finance also has. If you are aware about Vion, Gravitas Plus, the Great Resignation, they are also having. So you can just go type this on the Google, the Great Resignation India, the Great Resignation of 2021. Already we can see so many suggestions Google is giving, because so many searches has been happening. And I think like HBR, this is Harvard Business Review, they are also expressing about who is driving the Great Resignation. So this, I just wanted to express that this is one of the very big change which is happening in the workplace. This immediately is not, it doesn't have anything to give and take with what teenagers are doing right now in terms of their education, but how the whole ecosystem is getting changed and what exactly is going to happen in the future, that I want to correlate with what opportunities are coming in the present, so that we can empower teenagers. Please remember the goal of this session. These sessions are ultimately we want to empower teenagers to be future ready, right? So I just wanted to set the context in terms of what exactly is happening in the workplace. And now let me share something very important. So before I discuss exactly the biggest change, I want to share something. Around 2 months back, one of my friend, he is working in VMware software company. Um, I asked him, "Who are you?" So for a minute he was thinking. Then he said, "I'm a software engineer." I again asked him, "Who are you?" So he said, "I'm a software engineer." And that's when we got into a conversation that it's not who are you, it's what you do. So what you do is not who are you. When we are talking about who are you means who are you as a person. What is your like what you have discovered about your purpose, what are the things which interest you, and what motivates you, what is your personality like. So these all things comprises who are you as a person. However, whenever we meet any person, like suppose if I meet you, like immediately, like as I was calling out Khyati Bacha, your name, the neurosurgeon was written. So immediately, whenever we meet somebody, someone new, we generally ask, "What do you do?" Yes, is it a natural question or not? So even I see the world in that way. Until at least till last 2 years back, I also saw the world in that way, the conversations in that way, the meetings in that way. That whenever we met somebody for the first time, some new person, we naturally we ask, "What do you do?" And when this thing, like it becomes connected with a person's identity. So when I asked my friend about who are you, so he responded connecting it with what he does. So since he does software engineering, he's a software programmer. He answered to me that when I asked him, "Who are you?" he answered to me that he's a software programmer. Now, this is something really very dangerous when we are going ahead into the future in terms of the teenagers. Why it is dangerous, I want to share. I want to share my screen and express that. Where is Hatton? So I have opened the website Forbes.com, and I always use the credible information and data. And her name is Heather McKeown. I champion humans in learning centric future of work. I hope this is visible to you. Before I go through her article, let me share the credentials of who she is. She has written this book, and this particular book has been it has been chosen as she's the author of this book, the adaptation advantage. And it's not mentioned here, but This has been rated as #1 book for businesses in the year 2020. Last year the book has come, and she was also LinkedIn's 2017 In 2017, LinkedIn ranked her as its #1 global voice for education. She has also won Pulitzer Prize winning New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman frequently quotes Heather. So before I share the article written by Heather, I wanted to communicate that what kind of credibility she has. LinkedIn ranked her as its #1 global voice for education in year 2017. Now let's read what exactly she is communicating. It's a long article. We just want to focus on this. So at the top, what you are able to see, the end of the occupational identity. This is the biggest change that is happening in the workplace. We ask young children, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we ask university students to select their major prior to any higher education exploration or experiences. This line of questioning asks the individual to pick an aspirational future self based upon existing careers and to work towards realizing that static vision. So here you can see, if before that, I'll share something very amazing here. Let's read. Getting fired can feel worse than a breakup, study finds. So this research has been done. According to recent research review conducted by University of East Anglia and the What Works Center for Wellbeing in England, getting fired can actually be more painful than divorce or death of a spouse. And why it is so? That might seem a bit much, but when you account for the fact that one of the most common first date questions is, so since this is Western country, they are putting it in their context. However, the question which we discussed, that what do you do? If we can understand with regards to this particular question, what do you do? That's what they are saying. Someone new can help the hurting person heal. Looking for a new job can throw the pain of being let go into stalker relief, according to research conducted. They found that their emotional well-being returns to normal 2 years after the death of their partners, 4 years after a breakup with their significant other. Men's emotional states continue to decline even after 4 years after losing their jobs, because the self-worth, the identity, the person becomes confused with regards to one's identity. Just like I asked my friend, who are you? So instead of saying who he is as a person, he expressed what he does. And he expressed that he's a software engineer. And once I start identifying myself as a software engineer, if somehow I lose my job because of continuously having that internal conception that I am a software engineer, person feels that person has lost one's identity. And as soon as that thing happens, a person feels that one has lost, one's self-worth completely gets destroyed, because one is identifying with that position, that work position with oneself. Like if somebody is if one does not attach one's identity with what one does, it's very simple. Suppose if today I lose my job, so it's very simple. What I need to do, number one, I need to understand myself more deeper. What is my personality, aptitude, interest, motivation? I need to find out what are the future opportunities with regards to my personalities, so that I have that authentic self and I feel that I am contributing something, and I also feel internal satisfaction. So understanding myself better, understanding futuristic opportunities, connecting these, and ultimately finding out that how I can become skillful in what the world wants and what is my nature. It's so simple, right? But if I lose my work today, this is what I am supposed to do. And it's very simple. This way, one may not be able to perfectly connect these two, that like perfectly according to my nature, this work is perfect. Of course, there will not be that perfection, but 70-80% one can clearly see that whether the kind of work an individual is doing is one connecting with it or not. And my mentor, Mr. Martin Hosner, one of my mentors, he says that you cannot argue with happiness. And when a person is working or is a part of that kind of employment where the person is happy with regards to work, not the money part. I'm just not talking about the money part right now, but what one is doing, then naturally the person will be happy. And that's why he's saying that one cannot argue with happiness. So if a person is happy, clearly we can see the person is in the field in which the person is working. So I mean the person is aligned with. So that's it. I don't need to become any I don't need to become emotional about it, or I just need to figure out my personality, the opportunity, and how to become trained. And nowadays, like becoming skillful, you have education for 3 months. There are skills which can be developed in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to 1 year, 2 year. Even in 2 to 3 years, one can develop a wonderful skill. And because it's a futuristic opportunity, we have done the research. I restart my work. However, so much who I am as a person is like what I do is who I am. If I lose what I do, I lose who I am and I lose my complete self-worth. And that's where we can see that it's more painful even with in comparison to death of a loved one. That's how much we are, how much the occupational identity is attached to one's sense of oneself. So this is the biggest change which is happening in the workplace, that it is the end of occupational identity. And why it is the end of occupational identity? Number one, 65% jobs that do not exist yet will be the jobs which are going to come in the future when teenagers are going to be in the workplace. 47% of tasks are going to be automated by 2033. And this all was like, her book came somewhere around in 2020 February, and before that she was writing this book. After COVID, everything has fast forwarded 4 to 5 times. So many of the jobs in the United States are completely gone, in India are completely gone. It's not part of today's session, but on my YouTube channel I have a session where I'm communicating about this, that how I give example of 5 to 6 industries, and with practical examples that how so many of the jobs have already lost because of the automation, which became need because of the COVID. 27% work in their undergrad major, and this is what is going to happen in the future, that people will be doing 17 jobs under 5 industries. This is obviously an average. This is not going to be, I mean, this content is not necessarily going to fit into every individual's context, but we ourselves can see in our lives, like I did work as a software engineer for some time, then I chose this particular path. Then at my home I have agriculture, so I am participating in agriculture also. And this is another thing which I am doing. It's my own venture where I educate and help teenagers so they get prepared properly for the future. So again, you can see I'm already involved in 3-4 things, and one of that thing I have left in the past. So going ahead into the future generation, it's the end of occupational identity. So this question, that what do you do, is not going to be relevant, because today if they decide that what do you do, I want to be a software programmer, and suppose the person becomes skillful in certain things, he still needs to continuously upgrade himself to understand that which part of his work is going to be automated. He cannot remain that, he's not going to remain software programmer throughout life, even if he remains in that particular field. You can go and ask any doctor, any software programmer, or any person in the corporate or in academics, wherever they are, those who are continuously learning and understanding where the world is going are only able to survive. So this particular thing which I wanted to share is the theoretical basis. Little bit of theory more, and then I will get into the practicalities of how in the workplace there are different kind of opportunities, which, as my sessions, like first slide was mentioning yesterday also, that we are fixing the missing link in the education system. So I'm trying to put it in the practicality, in the real world sense, that how exactly the education system is missing these things. If the future of work includes 15 or more jobs per person, we must rethink how we define ourselves. This will require a shift from a set identity bestowed by external validation, that is degree, job title, company affiliation. That if I belong to Microsoft, then I feel my identity, like my self-worth comes from me being part of Microsoft. It doesn't come from who I am as a person, what are my qualities, and what am I contributing in people's life or in my responsibilities I am carrying out for my family members or my dependents. And so it needs to be shifted and focused around the application of skills and knowledge at a moment in time to an identity formed from internal validation. All right, I'll read this again. This is very, very, very important. I'll definitely share this link with you. If I forget, I mean, if I don't remember or I miss, please ask for this particular link. Take a printout of it. Maybe you can, what do we say, laminate it and keep it with you. And the children should be going through this 3-4 times so that in their internal conception of themselves, they should be clear that they should not form their identity based on the external validations, that what degree they have done, what job title they have, and what company affiliation they have, because the company may not remain, or they may not have that job, or the degree is just like a starting point, because we are already talking about lifelong learning. So the whole life is like a school only. So degree is just one starting point, and focused around the application of skills and knowledge at a moment in time to an identity. Identity has to be formed from internal validation, which is rooted in one's purpose. So purpose discovery, it requires time. Initially, one has to just understand one's nature and start in a particular field. Very seldomly an individual child will be able to actually recognize one's own purpose, although there are examples, but most of the people will not. So someone's mic is on. If you can just mute yourself, it will be helpful. And the identity formed from internal validation rooted in purpose, passion, uniquely human skills, and fundamental literacy. This new work mindset will require a heightened level of self-awareness about one's ability and method for learning, adaptation, value creation. This is a shift from learning to do to learning in order to continuously learn and adapt. Just these 3-4 lines. I'm not going to go detail about this theory. This is a shift from storing stocks of knowledge to working in flows of emerging knowledge. Working in flows of emerging knowledge with a transdisciplinary mindset of human and technology collaboration. This is analogous to learning to master a single instrument versus learning to conduct an orchestra. I'll repeat this particular thing once again. Working in flows of emerging knowledge with a transdisciplinary mindset. So transdisciplinary means there are multiple, here they have mentioned here. In the past, it was like one discipline, you go deep inside that. Then the multidisciplinary came. In India's education system, the multidisciplinary is getting incorporated in the education system. Now they have started. And even in schools and all, still they are not so much open to understand what multidiscipline is, because that, I mean, such a narrow vision is given during school days. Most of the time, it's like just focus on your maths, bio, humanities, or arts and commerce and the CLAT and JE and all these things. And yeah, that's it. There is no system of combining the disciplines itself right now. And we are moving into the transdisciplinary thing, where machines are always going to be part of I mean, whatever we are doing, we have to understand what we are doing in that, what role machine is playing. And anything which is repetitive, the machine is going to become better in it. And so we have to continuously, what they have said, emerging knowledge. So continuously the knowledge will become upgraded as and when the machine will take part, some part of that. So now this is sufficient for the theory, and I don't want to bore you with this theory. And even if you are loving this, I want to move to the second part, where I want to share what is happening in the real world with regards to this. So I'll just summarize what we have discussed this. the biggest change that is happening in the workplace, that is with regards to occupational identity. And it is the end of occupational identity that the question which we used to ask children, that what you want to do, what do you want to do when you grow up, that particular thing, and combining it with one's identity, because we are going to have multiple kind of industries and multiple kind of jobs, the identity is not going to remain static and fixed. So it's the end of occupational identity. And let's now move to some of the case studies of people who have mixed so many aspects in their life, that and what is happening in the real world, by which we can understand how our life is going to be a portfolio of different kind of skills which we acquire. So first example I want to share is with regards to Arpit Maheshwari. Here you can see his written product manager, ex Goldman Sachs. He did his IIT from his graduation from IIT Bombay. Now let me share something very amazing with you. The amazing thing is this. Arpit Maheshwari is from the batch of 2006. I got connected with him some 4 or 5 months back, because I am also into agriculture and he also ventured into agriculture. So that's how I came to know about him. And he got All India rank 2. So this is the goal of all the mathematics PCM people when they get into IIT. I mean, this won't be the goal of everybody, because not everyone is going to get the second rank. And mostly, like, not everyone thinks that they want to be the second ranker. It's like, let's qualify JEE. He got the second rank, and in All India exams, AIEEE, he got the 7th rank. So, I mean, if this is like something, if somebody's child is preparing for engineering in India, and if they are told that if we give these 2 ranks to you, will you be happy and will you choose that? It's a no-brainer, right? Anybody will choose. So he did his graduation. He did his work also. He was a strategist. Then he was a product manager in a particular company. Then he moved to another company as a product manager. Then he became advisor. Then he became technical project manager, which is his present work. But his present work is not a full-time work. So what change has come? This is the change which has come. So if you are able to see Jivantika here, this is a 1-acre forest which Arpit has created with his wife. I'm not remembering, her name will appear somewhere. And you can see this is in Madhya Pradesh, a place near Indore. In case if the name is written there, it's not there. So you can see here, they have cooked air potato. I mean, not cooked, they have grown air potato. They have grown this lemongrass. He is the person, the Arpit Maheshwari. He is having this red rosella. I don't know, it's a fruit or a flower. And you can see all the beautiful photos here. Yeah, she's her wife, Sakshi. Yes, Sakshi is her wife. So both of them, they did their graduation. Then they went in corporate. They worked there. He is right now somewhere around 35, because he's from 2006 batch, and considering that to be 12th and 18 years, it's like 31 to 35 somewhere. And then they worked certain places, as I expressed, for 5 to 10 years. And then he changed his life completely. He is now just doing some part-time work as a freelancer. And this has become his main mission or passion or purpose. As we were reading in the Forbes article, that it has to be more connected to one's purpose, one's fundamental literacy. Let me show that aspect again. And focused around the application of skills to form identity formed from internal validation rooted in purpose. So he found his purpose or mission with regards to natural farming, sustainable agriculture, removing the chemical aspects, passion, uniquely human skills. Oh, farming in that way requires human skills and fundamental literacies. And I just wanted to show the farm photos. Let me, the beautiful farm is there. Let me see if we can directly see the photos. Yes. Everything you are seeing in the photo, he himself, along with his wife, both of them together, they have done. This house they have made together with their own hands, with mud. There must be some photo somewhere when they were building their house. Everything you are able to see, they have grown on their own. This toolbox, this house in the background, you can see it's a particular place in the house. They have built it. Yeah, here you can see like Arpit's or Sakshi's mother, they are decorating the window after the house was built. All these fruits and flowers and all. So this is the first case study that the path did not remain static. The path did not remain linear. We all need money. That is definitely true. They also needed money. They earned it, but ultimately they found deeper purpose, deeper mission in going into the direction of sustainable agriculture. They created a 1 acre farm for themselves in last 5 years. They tested it. Now, because they have the complete blueprint and the formula of how it happens, they have created now another community known as Friends of Jivantika. Jivantika is the name of their farmhouse, and Friends of Jivantika is they want to find out similar mind. They are trying to find out more people who are having similar kind of mindset, who wants to come and get based in a smaller place. So now they are planning for a community farm. That is what his next goal is, and he is also going to organize some kind of workshop in Indore. So he invited me in February. So this is the first example. Yeah, see, they are building their house. You can see there. Now they are building. Are the images visible? Because I'm not able to. Can someone write in the chat box if the images are visible? Or it may so happen that I'm just blabbering and nothing is getting communicated. Yes, Nimiksha Parekh. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nimiksha. So yes, you can see they are building their own house, everything from scratch, from ground zero. Right. So this was first case study which I wanted to share, that the topmost, what the general aspiration of Indians, if we, I mean, there are all different fields, but I'm just, engineering is something the most often discussed, engineering and MBAs and all. So this is one particular example. So when they find their deeper, they live simple also, and they have protected themselves with all the financial aspects and all. But then when this became the primary goal, the mission, the purpose, they changed it. Now, the second case study is also a very interesting case study. If you like this case study, please write in the comment box if you like this. Just if you can mention something nice or something, or you can write if you are getting bored also. Sania Dhale from Varjeshing, wonderful. Rajesh Jadhav is saying nice. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Now let me share another of the case study. This is the link. That if I can find, just a minute, I want to bring the lady in focus. I'm just trying to find the link. All right, so she is Marianne. Please read what she's writing here. I help you to have ease in communicating with people. I think it's insane that we do not learn in school how to communicate in relationships and resolve conflicts. How do we as a human race expect to solve wars between nations if we don't even know how to create peace at our own kitchen table? For me, it's so painful to see unresolved conflict and distance between couples, family members, and friends, because I discovered it's not necessary. You can be yourself and still have an amazing connection with the one you love. So this cup of empathy, Marianne, she is a NVC specialist. NVC is non-violent communication. So all the things which education system does not incorporate, as she is mentioning here, that it does not incorporate how to have communication. So there are so many conflicts in the relationships and so many unresolved issues and emotional issues, and then individual goes to therapist or psychologist, or depends on the degree of severity of the conflict and problems. So she helps couples primarily and others to learn to communicate and resolve conflicts. This she does with the help of a technique which comes from non-violent communication. If you will type on Google NVC, non-violent communication, you will come to know about a book from Marshall Rosenberg. And it's a very, very famous book. And sorry, I just started reading the messages. So it's a very famous book and it's very effective. And one of my friend, my college junior from my college, we have been friends from last many years. He has become very expert. He has become an expert in it. And when he speaks to me and when I speak something to him, it feels that he is somebody who is like, ये person समझा है मेरे को, this person is understanding. And after COVID, when this need for emotional support and all came up, all these people became very important. So what is the context? I again bring back the title of today's is the biggest change that is happening in the workplace. So few days back, around October 2019 or 20, my friend told me that Vipul, you are having some expertise of digital work. You have been doing this. I've been doing this, like conducting these sessions, and certain digital skills I've been developing over a couple of years, not couple of years, but some in like in last some time. And it has been on and off because of certain health concerns of mine. But he told me that you have been developing these digital skills and Marian needs a virtual assistant. All right. So we are talking about the biggest change in the workplace, which we need to know now. So she was looking for a virtual assistant. There was no qualification required. It was very simple. Whenever she is conducting a session, she wanted the virtual assistant to later connect to those people, and whatever program she is offering, if those people are not able to, the payment did not go through, then just help them. Or if they want to express something, they want to know further things, then just help them. Then some research she wants to do, then that is the duty of the virtual assistant. And the amazing thing is, this is another biggest change, which in India, more or less, people are not aware about, especially in the education system, that it's not necessary now just to work with regards to rupees or in India itself. There are global opportunities where one can earn in dollars and pounds, doing the similar amount or same kind of work which one would have done in India for somebody and earned in rupees. And she was offering $20 per hour. These dollars were Australian dollars, and I think it is somewhere around 58 or 60. I'm not remembering right now. And she wanted somebody for 5 hours a week and having more space during the week so that the person can assist her. And the timings were European time zone. Actually, on her website, that generally if somebody is having some kind of opportunity or like position vacant in their company or their job or whatever they are doing, then they mention the link. She has just withdrawn that link some days back. So she was offering 20 Australian dollars to a virtual assistant, and even a college going or a school going, somewhere around 15-16-year boy, girl of that age, or a teenager, if we call teenagers from 15 to 25, they could also have got this opportunity if they would have developed the skills of networking and connecting, which I had spoken yesterday about, the 3 skills: the skills to search the internet, the skill to filter the fact from quackery, and skills to connect to the mentors. So I also applied for it because the opportunity felt very, very good. I thought like I just have to work somewhere around, if I see on weekly basis, 5 hours. 5 hours is like what, like we wake up and by the time we decide to get out of bed, 1 hour goes away. So I felt it's good, like if I can earn 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees throughout the year, just by working 20-25 hours in a week. And I myself have applied for this. However, unfortunately or fortunately, maybe I am destined for something else. My application mail went to her spam. And because I had applied coming from my friend, like who is also expert in this is NVC. So later when she came to know that my friend also mailed him, and she also came to know about like when she went in her spam folder and she saw it. So she replied to me. I am just sharing that reply. So you can see her name is Marianne, and this is Cup of Empathy. If you can see here, this is the logo of her brand. So here you can see, hi Vipul, thank you for your job application. Unfortunately, for some reason, your email went to my spam and I am only seeing it now. I already hired someone at this point. I moan that you didn't get a chance and at least wanted to let you know that I read your email. So I wanted to work for her because I felt comfortable. I want to work with individuals with whom I am able to have good communication. Because when I was working in college, when I was working in software for whatever period of time, I felt that unless I experienced that relationship in a communication in the relationship with the superior for whom I am working, it's difficult for me to work. That was my own discovery regarding my own nature. However, the point which I wanted to share after first example is IITian lived his life for 10 years, found a different higher purpose, shifted to that work at the same time, formed a portfolio of his work so that he keeps on earning money, but his focus shifted from the money. So, and shifted towards sustainable agriculture. Here I want to make one point clear that I'm not trying to demean, or I have no intention of uh, lowering down the people who are working for money, because it's a particular kind of nature. It comes from the ancient times also, and there are different categories of people, and there has to be people who have natural inclination to earn lots and lots of money, because those people only become entrepreneurs and they provide ultimately job opportunities. If there won't be any entrepreneur, there won't be jobs. So somebody may have the drive to earn more and more money, as long as it's in a good way, by through a product which is contributing in the world. This nature is perfectly I mean, this particular nature is perfect for those people. So everybody may not have money as the topmost value, but the people for whom the money is the topmost value, it's totally normal, because then only all others will be accommodated under the category of those entrepreneurs. So, but this is the second example. There is opportunity, global opportunity doesn't require lots of skill, but the money will come in dollars. And although I miss the opportunity, these kind of opportunities are going to come more and more in the future, because we can see like communication is, I don't want to use some abusive language, but the conflicts and the problems with regards to in relationship because of lack of proper communication, inability to understand one's own needs, one's own emotional feelings and all, and not able to understand other person, their emotions, and finding a balance, making boundaries and all those things. So it's going to become a huge thing, and more such virtual assistants will be required. But the point in second point I want to communicate was that there are global opportunities, and one doesn't just need to continue earning money in rupees. And these opportunities like virtual assistant, the opportunity is very minimum in terms of the amount of effort and time one has to give. There will be something to work, some kind of hard work, and there should be, but just a perspective that if we are in right network and connection, we have the opportunities. Now nobody is going to offer. It's like if I work 25 hours for her per week in Australian dollars, I earn 25,000 rupees per month, and that comes out to be 3 lakh rupees per year. And it's a solid opportunity for making side by side hustle. But it's difficult to have such a direction when we are going into the schools and college. I had sent all my details I had sent. I'm feeling joyous to share my cover letter and resume. I'm hereby also attaching my psychometric assessment, personality assessment. I wanted to communicate to her because she was about communication, that why my personality and my inclination and nature is aligned with the work, express my alignment with the values and the work you are doing. And I shared certain testimonials, all those things which I have received. So this was the second case study. So are you all there? I am not able to see. Yes. All right. Okay, Manas sir has also joined. Thank you, Manas sir, for being here in spite of your busy schedule. So I'll be moving to next case study. I hope this one is clear, that there are global opportunities available, and the money will be paid in a different way, and it can be done as a side hustle. So next one is, I don't know if maybe most of you might be aware about it, but I'll still go through it. The next is about the gig economy or the freelancing work, which is shaping up a lot in our country also and in general also. So I'm sharing about one of the websites which is utilized a lot for gig work. Gig work means there is no permanent employment. The freelancing, or it's like project based, and the relationship may continue over a period of time, or it could just be with regards to one particular project. If I go down in order to show you everything, if I find that particular link, where they show sitemap. Yeah, this is the sitemap. These are the opportunities and these skills. Many of them do not require years and years of skilling. Like if you decide about one of the toughest field, which I feel is medical, which the traditional medical, it's because you have to give NEET, then there are 5 years of MBBS, then there is MD, and it's all so difficult. And after that, in order to have one's own practice also, it takes a lot of time. It's not so easy. And like one of my relatives, the same family, cousin of my father, their whole family is family of doctors. And I saw him, like he's a pediatrician, and right now he's 45 years of age. And as per I observed and have discussion with him, he studied, like the actual career, actual earning, actual work, everything started from 35. So from 18 to 35, 17 years of developing the skills, so that finally one can make a sufficiently excellent or good career out of it. But these skills, logo designing, brand style guides, game arts, if you give these skills are given to teenagers, they are digital natives. All these digital skills, they will be able to learn in half the time, by the time we will actually be able to make sense and understand what exactly it is. So there is one particular question that it appears so simple, but it's not exactly so simple, but there is a process by which these opportunities can be grabbed. I just wanted to show you that in graphics and designing, in music and audio, in programming technology, in digital marketing, you can see the opportunities, resume designing. If you click on this, there will be some person who will be offering his freelancing services. Let's click somewhere. Any suggestion anybody wants to give, or should I click something on my own? Okay, I'll click this resume designing itself. Let's click on it. So here is a person, Noman_Khan07. So once we'll go into the detail, we will come to know about all the details, but 782 rupees for that resume. Let's click again. 2 days delivery, 3 revisions are also there. And he has mentioned all his details. 100% customer satisfaction, everything is there. All right, so 800 rupees, near about 800 rupees. This is just one example which I shared about resume writing. If we go back, all of these are opportunities to earn money, to learn some skill with which one identifies oneself. Web banners, Photoshop editing. Children and like teenagers, they love so much of all these digital music and all these things, gamings and all. So voiceover, mixing and mastering, producers and composers, singers, vocalists, songwriters, beat making, online music lessons. So somebody decides to make career in music field, and then there are other ways also to earn money in that particular field also. But I don't know, because of whatever reason, these things are not communicated, not taught in schools. That's why the new education policy says that internet has disrupted everything, and but we are still at perilous disadvantage if we do not sync with this disruption. And I'll show that from the new education policy. There is e-commerce, there is web programming. So many children like programming. Now they can earn money by programming. So I wanted to give this example from the perspective of the amount of opportunities which are present in terms of freelancing and gigs. And in the beginning, I had shared about the biggest change in the workplace. This is one of the biggest changes that is happening in the workplace, that there are opportunities coming not just for these digital things. You can see here, TopTel is an exclusive network of the top freelance software developers, designers, finance experts, product managers, project managers. So people or companies are going to hire people not as a full-time, not necessarily as a full-time. We have already experienced about the full-time we have seen, but also as a part-time software developer, part-time designer, part-time finance experts, just as a project based. The thing gets over, it gets over. No more further. So this is another example of TopTel. This is about Fiverr. Now comes one thing, that everybody is present on Fiverr. So many people, like whatever we click, there will be so many people offering their services. And now how will I get the opportunity? So there are two things. When we are going for a job, we just have to prepare for cracking the job. But when we are going for freelancing, we have to have the skill also, not just the skills when we are doing the job, but we also have to learn the skills of getting the business. So through internet, through coaches, we also have ways and means to get clients. So here, this is a 3-day workshop by Naval Gupta. He is a freelancer from 7 years. After all the hard work he has done for 7 years, he has started sharing the methodologies by which one thing is developing skills. So that I have shared, that so many skills and so many opportunities are available through those skills. There are coaches who are helping one to develop the skills of getting the clients, keeping the clients, and marketing and sales basically. So we will find a skill that you are passionate about, how to find high quality projects. We will use unique framework to apply on those projects. We will go through simple strategies to make sales, even if you have not sold before. So I am starting from sketch, what to do with me. So this also I wanted to communicate, that it's not that, oh, okay, Vipul, you are showing so many opportunities, fine, these skills has to be developed, but who is going to give us the business? No, there are skills to learn by which one can get the business also. So you have the skills to deliver, you have the skills to get the business. That's how a freelancer has to work. They have to develop these two kinds of skills thoroughly. The person in job just needs to develop the skills of whatever they have to do in the job. So we all are familiar about the job thing, but I brought about the opportunities which can come through networking in a global way, in where we will be paid differently. This is about freelancing. Somebody, the first opportunity we discussed about, Arpit, is about sorting out one's life and focusing on reviving the agriculture, reviving the nature and all those things. So this is another kind of change. So all of your children right now, you must be thinking, best, we are trying our best to get the best opportunity based on whatever money we have, and we are ready to spend everything and all that. It's fine, I really appreciate that, but something like this is going to happen with them also. It's not that the field they are choosing, they will remain in it for lifetime. They may become consultant of those fields, they may earn money and shift in some other something, which because as they will grow, once they will move out of your shell, I should not say shell, your nest. When they will move out of it, they will move, they will gain independence, they will get more exposure of the world. They will be exploring their own like person like me will be, if they come across me, then I'll definitely be telling them, let's go more deeper day by day by day. So they will be discovering certain ways and purpose and mission and whatever passion, and they will be moving in that direction. So they will be doing these kind of things. They may become a virtual assistant to somebody, and along with their work, maybe 5 days they work for a company, 2 days they go and teach somewhere, or 2 days they get another job, or from beginning itself they decide, they will be aware about it, that I want to have something else to do in Saturday, Sunday. I can't do the same thing on all 5 days, and I don't want to waste time on Saturday, Sunday. So please be prepared that whatever I am sharing, it may not be your reality right now. It may be your reality right now, but it may not be in your thought process that your children, for your children, such kind of things, but this is where they are going to land up. So this was another case study. I don't know how much time is there. Oh, it's already 9. I have 3 more case studies, but I have already crossed the time limit. Please express what do you want me to do. There are 3-4 more case studies which I had. If I'm allowed to share, else we can have questions. If you want to discuss, you can unmute and express whatever you feel is appropriate. So the case studies will basically it's going to justify more further that there are different, we don't have to get fixed with the occupational identity. We have to have that adaptation mindset available. What we choose with one's which is aligned with one's personality is just the first step. As our life will take us further, as I mean life of your children, life of teenagers, as it will move further, more ways they will discover, they will understand about themselves, the life will keep on shifting. So if tomorrow's any of your child suddenly changes their mind, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, Purvi is saying please share. Anybody doesn't want me to share, because then I can. Thank you so much for sharing this valuable information. Very well said. Thank you. So please share. Okay, so I'll share. If it's attracting, then I would like to continue. So I'll share about the one of the things which I shared yesterday also. It was about entrepreneurship, startups. So there are teenagers who are building their own startup. Where is that link? Just a second. Yeah, this is here. So there were various examples. Yesterday I had shared these 5 examples based on the time that was available. So this is one example of Rohit Kashyap. He's a teen entrepreneurial coach. That means he's a teenager and he helps primarily teenagers, otherwise everybody else also, to build their own startups. So Rohit Kashyap, CEO and founder at Maitri School. He's an 18-year-old who chose the larger cause. You can see here, he's a mentor and entrepreneurial startup advisor. If we go detail inside the workshops, somewhere there will be mention about how he's helping individuals to, young entrepreneurship. These are all members of their team, I guess. Somewhere I had read about his thing, how he helps, that I wanted to share. I'm not able to find it. Anything block. All right, I'm not able to locate exactly, but yeah, on this website, if we will go in detail, we will be able to find out that what kind of program he has, how he helps an individual. Basically, in a startup, somebody comes with some idea, then you have to test that idea, find a minimum viable product, then ultimately have a team, or you want to continue like 1-member, 2-member team. So all these things, Rohit helps under his Maitri School. So he's a teen entrepreneurial coach. That is what one thing I wanted to share. A different thing. Then I shared about Jyotish Joy. He is a freelance WordPress developer, 7 years of experience, and he designs different websites. I mean, not different, but he designs websites for different projects. These are his work, which he has mentioned here. Avantika Interiors. So all these must be companies, I guess. DC Group of Institutions. So just a teenager, young boy. And he has been doing this from last 7 years. My passion for coding, love for creative perfectionism, and years of bespoke experience are ideal for you to create a stellar online brand. On a mission, you see, he's writing on a mission. So it's one thing about writing, but those who actually feel, that's where they are connected with what kind of identity they have to have with regards to future. Join hands with me and never be disappointed. So I'll share this document. You can explore more about this. This is Jyotish Joy. So web development direction. Then I had shared about socially healthy digital business. So by a teenager. So something should pop up. Nothing is coming. So this girl, young girl, yeah, she is the one. She has turned 17 maybe recently. She has posted her birthday cake. So she came up with this idea of utilizing honey instead of sugar in lemonade. And she created her own brand, created her own drinks, lemonade, and utilizing bee, and complete brand is created, meandthebees.com. So change in the workplace, not everybody is going to just like has to go for job. Still in India, I think in Delhi, in government schools somewhere, I have read about an article that they have started entrepreneurial coaching, but apart from that, inside school, I don't think so there is a complete project or open space where individuals are given opportunity to start to think like that. So not everybody will be an entrepreneur like an entrepreneur, but everybody, if given training, they're based on their independence and freedom, would like to create something of their own. So innovation has to be provided a space. So mostly innovation takes place outside through some different courses and coachings for teenagers. But this is another example. One more example is about e-commerce. These are all in the fourth case study. I'll again bring the attention that we are discussing about biggest change that is happening in the workplace. So in that context, I'm talking about teen entrepreneurs who have started their own startups, utilizing or who are doing their own freelancing based on the skill they have learned. So this is Corey Neves. They have he has his own this e-commerce of food based of the cookies which he create. I mean, not create, cook. So yeah, cooking is also creation, but let's see the menu. Although we cannot have it to eat, but it looks good. So I'm vegetarian, so I hope there is the veg part. So milk chocolate cookies and puff and marshmallows and all those things. So yeah, another Mr. Corey cookies. He is not from India. I collected some examples from India, some from outside, just to give, because now everything is through internet. So such kind of things definitely banta hai India mein shuru karna. If your kid has that kind of mindset, entrepreneurial mindset, let him explore it, because entrepreneurship starts with failing. Shuru karenge, kuch idea rehta hai, there is some idea, then it doesn't work. Then if they have that kind of personality and nature or that kind of training, especially in childhood, when we normalize failing in childhood after trying one's best, not failing like unnecessary failing, but after trying, if somebody is failing in some way, and when that is appreciated, acknowledged, and absorbed by the leaders for a child, like teachers or father or mother or brother, and the encouragement is given, it sows a seed that when I'm trying something and when I'm failing, it's okay. And that's when such kind of things can happen. I'm sure he must have gone through a lot of challenges while creating something, then while making it parcel and sending all those things, the orders, challenges must be there. But it's an example of how teenage students are becoming entrepreneurs. And the last example is of e-commerce, that is plastic free. This one is very attractive to me. So let me go to the team. He is Ben Easton. He is the person. Nohobo as a passion project. See, all are writing their passion project, because one has to have passion if one is innovating something. Otherwise, how is one going to remain motivated to continuously do it? So passion, gradually individuals discover their passion. It's not that everybody is clear about their passion. However, it needs to be encouraged in the education system. And if somebody is pursuing it, if there are ways and means to find out how they can connect and monetize it, what better than some positive contribution in the world through one's passion, which is monetizable. So what Novo does is when we have a bottle of chemicals or like shampoo, we are using shampoo, conditioner, all these things we are using. So every time we have to refill it, there is another bottle we have to bring to refill it. So he created something in which uh, there is no culmination of more and more plastic wastage. The thing gets dissolved in itself. The refiller gets dissolved. So that's what he has created. This whatever thing it is, it gets dissolved. Packaging is antiquated, plastic is unnecessary, and the future of personal care stems from our sustainable and groundbreaking packaging transformations that disappear without a trace. So you can see all these things, they disappear after the refill is done. So this is his passion project, and of course he is doing great. So this was another case study, the case study number 4, which is about another change that teenagers can become entrepreneurs. They are entrepreneurs, and it depends on how much we as leaders, like it's my responsibility, it's parents' responsibility, how much space we are giving to them. So next, I want to talk something very interesting. Generally in India, the field of humanities, a general mindset has been coming. On today's date, it is not so much there, but still there is some kind of seats are there, that if you are intelligent, you go for engineering and medical, and otherwise you go for commerce, and if you are like not so good, then you go for humanities or something. A general kind of, like, where the conscious choice is not being made of humanities considering the nature of an individual. But I'll reshare one example of the past, and I'll share another example in terms of the earning potential, because the software jobs are very much liked because it gives opportunity to go outside India and the earning potential and all. I want to share one example about a life coach. So life coaching is more connected with humanities. So her name is Pooja Puneet. She is on a mission to transform the lives of women and help them become the best version of themselves. All right, life coaching. So there are a lot of things which she does, and she helps, and many people are appreciating her. Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, all these personal development experts. What I want to show is this. Her one-on-one coaching with Pooja Puneet for 6 sessions of 60 minutes over 3 periods of month is of 1 lakh rupees. 6 sessions of 60 minutes over a period of 3 months for 1 lakh rupees. Taxes are not there. So now let's divide it. 1 hour comes near around 16,000 to 17,000. And if a software professional or any professional is earning 3 lakh rupees per month, their 1 day comes of 10,000 rupees, and 1 hour comes of 1,000 rupees, because 8 to 10 hours people are working. Her 1 hour comes of 17,000 rupees. So it's a big misconception that the field of humanities, which is more driven like people's interest towards contributing in with regards to other individuals, like some psychology, counseling, guidance, if they learn the skills of marketing themselves and actually delivering the results, sky is the limit in terms of what an individual can earn. I also had shared before Pooja about cup of empathy. This is also about communication, resolving that communication. So an inclination of humanities has to be there, where we are like, one has to like connecting with people, one has to like talking to people, listening to their problems. Not everybody is made like that. Many people are who likes to work with things. It depends on the nature. But these two examples here also, I can show you her private session. Yeah, with Marianne it's 80 euros, and with Sarah, maybe I'm sorry, I don't know how it has to be pronounced. It's 150 euros. Euro is somewhere around 70-80 rupees, so it will come to be around 12,000 rupees for an hour. 80 is 6-7,000 rupees for an hour. So big misconception. And although it is part of the education system itself, the humanities is there when children are deciding about this particular subject. I still wanted to explicitly bring this, because engineering medical is clearly people are aware that if you'll choose this, then we'll have a secure future and all. But if somebody is choosing humanities and choosing wisely and actually going deep, because one has to absorb oneself in those literatures of nonviolent communication and solve the problems. Unless one is passionate and one has chosen the subject based on alignment, one will not be able to do it. It's not possible. It may be possible to begin with, but it won't be possible to continue, because when people come with problems and all, the mind may get fed up if the nature is not inclined. So I have showed like 12,000 rupees for an hour, 17,000, 16,000 rupees for an hour. And the fulfillment is next level only, because we are directly contributing. We can immediate many of the, we can, I'm sorry, I have the two thoughts I just spoke. I spoke two thoughts half an hour. What happens is, like, somebody who is creating a software. So many times it doesn't happen that they are not in touch. Those who are developing, they are not in touch with the people who are utilizing. So they are not able to experience that human fulfillment, that what I have created, this person is utilizing, and this is how that thing is benefiting or giving comfort to that person. So there is that, like, the development team and the sales team and the team who is using, I mean, the people who are using your things, there may not be direct connection. But if we talk from the perspective of this kind of coaching and therapies and all these sessions, there is direct experience of the person feeling better in their life. So whether it's life coaching or it's like here the resolving the conflicts. So this is another case study which I wanted to share, that all the fields going ahead into the future, the humanities and the arts field are no lesser than the engineering, technology, and the medical and the commerce field. Engineering, medical, commerce, maths, bio, commerce, these were very important, especially after India got freedom, because it was the time to build the nation. So all the engineers and everything was important. And then the medical facilities had to be built. So doctors and all are very important. And commerce is like so many businesses came up, especially after 1992, when this FDI, like foreign investment, was allowed. So commerce and all, these are already developed fields. These are good fields. If somebody is aligned with these fields, definitely there is wonderful future. But humanities and arts were not so much felt. But after COVID, believe me, I'll show you one of the wonderful books. If you are able to see the name clearly, Humans Are Underrated. So the knowledge leaders were the requirement of the past, knowledge till this time. But from here, those who can heart leaders are required now, knowledge workers, and now the shift is happening towards the heart workers. So these two examples which I shared with you about Pooja Puneet, and this one is about heart workers. So whatever I am sharing, these are based on my own skills of researching and thinking about teenagers, thinking about their parents. So I also get inspiration, I get directed to these things. So to help teenagers actually in that way, it's not so easy in the existing education system. It requires personal mentoring, right? This is one more example I shared. And I want to share about this particular website. This is Portfolio Collective. We are redefining the future of work. So there is a community membership. They are talking about that you do not have a one particular career. Transform your portfolio career into something astounding with our immersive blend of community support, and all those details are there. So Portfolio Collective is about helping individuals to build portfolio of their careers, not just one single occupational identity, but there are multiple identities based on whatever they are resonating with. As we discussed in the beginning, that the biggest change is the end of occupational identity. It's very, 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 very difficult unless someone has already lost the career in which they started. It is very difficult to absorb that losing the identity, because the identity is us. So multi-hyphenate, side hustler, freelancer, focused expert, different ways individuals are building their portfolio about career, but that's what the future is about. And yeah, that's it. This one example is there of such an education system of Khan Labs School. If you want to experience this, it's a testing project they started. So the model has mastery-based academics, social emotional learning, executive skills, project-based learning is there, mixed age. So they have not put by age that if you are 7 years, go to fifth class, third class. I think third class in 7 years, 7 years old, go to third class. So all 7 years, everybody in third class, irrespective of who is how much evolved based on their executive functions. So I'm sharing this in chat box. You can save this particular link. You can explore about it. Maybe something might be happening in India also somewhere hidden, but yeah, this is one example of what kind of system we need for children if we are to prepare them for future. So yeah, that's it from my side. I'll just summarize everything in today's session. It was about the biggest change that is happening in workplace. So it is no more just about job, and no more just about job in one particular field and holding on to that occupational identity. It is going to be based on an individual's more and more and more further discovery about oneself, which are validated from internal validation, not the external validation of degrees, titles, and companies, but internal validation of purpose, passion, interest, motivations, personality. And there will be multiple careers in multiple industries. And so the end of occupational identity has come. And this particular mindset has to be gradually sown in the mind of children, that start with whatever they are starting, and then life will naturally arrange varieties of opportunities based on their evolution. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for tolerating me for such a long time. Now we are open. If you want to share your opinion, somebody, your experience, if you want to share, if you want to give some feedback, constructive criticism is also welcome. Yes. Yes, anyone would like to share or express something? Some messages come. Manas sir, awesome report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vipul, for all the information you have given. Do share the recording so that we can see again.
Yes, I'll share the recording.
Purvi.
Recording needs to be shared and to be seen a couple of times, because it will require some time for
Yes,
these.
what we can do is, because I have a group of 100 moms, so I used to have a kids center. So I can keep sending recordings so that, the children benefit.
Fine, I'll share the recording with you, Puru. Thank you. Thank you, Sania.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Nimisha. Tomorrow's session will also be very amazing. It is something which I came to know, which I became aware a couple of years back, and it has it will also be very beautiful. I am confident, much more better than the first and second session. Please share what is like from today's session, what inspiration has come to you, or something has inspired you to look or feel or think in different way, either in your own life or from your children's perspective. There is no force, we are just here. So I'm just if you are feeling inspired. All right, Nimisha has expressed, takeaway is sky is the limit. We need to change and know our Swadharma. True, Nimisha. I am glad that you are aware about this concept of Swadharma. One more thing which is very important, like many times actually the thing is the end part of the world is not based on Swadharma, it is based on economy. So most of the careers are related to what is drawing the economy, and many times it may so happen that what is our nature, there may not be opportunities. So in that case, we have to choose the second best. And this is in context of being practical in the real world. But if but like I'll give example. Suppose I find my very inspired to play flute, and like music is my swadharma and our passion. That's my passion. But now there may not be opportunities for playing flute. There may not be sufficient opportunities in the movie industry or in some orchestra group or somewhere. So in that case, I do continue playing the flute, but to generate wealth, I'll have to learn some skill which is important from the economy point of view. So this is one thing which I also want to share, that sometimes we will not be able to find exactly something with regards to Swadharma. So we need to adjust practical, considering the practicality. Yes, balance out, balance. Future is only going to belong to people who are going to be balanced. Okay, all right. So it's 9:30. I don't know. Today Zoom has blessed me to not log out. It's like it's a free account. I think they have gifted me to continue the session more than 1 hour. That's nice. All right, I am done. Thank you so much. I'll share the recording in the group. If you want to express, if something comes later, you can express in the group. Please come for tomorrow's session. It's also going to be something very important, especially for how we are, what we are speaking and what teenagers are experiencing in the world. So what is going inside them, and this thing, one has to be very conscious that it's the negative thing is not going inside them. So I'll share that tomorrow. Please send link to join your group. Oh, Nimisha, you are already in the group. That's why you must have got the link. Nimisha, are you in the group of teens?
Oh no, I got it through a friend, through Purvi.
Okay, so do one thing, Nimisha. I'm sharing with you my number. You can just WhatsApp me. I'll share the link with you. This is my number. You can just WhatsApp me on this number. I'll share the link. Then you can also become part of the group. So once again, thank you, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you, Sania. Thank you, Nimisha. Thank you, Purvi. So we'll meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. Take care.
I'll tell more people
Thank you, Purvi.
to see your session tomorrow.
Sure, sure.
Thank you so
kind
much.
of you. Yes.
Rajima was asking me that, did you see the session? I said yes.
Yes, she asked me also yesterday. So she was also asking for the recording. I said I forgot, but today I have recorded, fortunately.
Yeah, today once you give, then she can see that.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.